I want to make this short video for you on the bike. You know, there's been little changes made to it, obviously from stock, but because it is a bobber, that's what you do with a bobber. So anyway, first thing I want to show you, these are the keys. There is one tank key and two ignition keys. And just put the key in ignition, 2 clicks forward, and you're set to go, okay? First click is for just accessories and so forth. 2 clicks forward and you're set. I never ride the bike, but I keep the bike hooked up constantly to a battery tender. And there's a wire coming out here, and I usually tuck it back up inside of here, and I keep it hooked up to a battery tender all the time, especially if I'm not riding it. The reason I do, it keeps the battery topped off. I mean, I may go weeks and never ride the thing. So it's just a way of keeping the battery topped off. It does real well with that and so forth. So there's really not much else to say about it, but the battery tender really helps, and I'm going to send the battery tender to you. Well, it's a plug and play type of thing. You just plug it in and forget it. Of course, the backside rear fender, it's not a load-bearing fender now. You don't let it sit back there. It's a one-person bike. But it was custom cut, custom made, and painted. The seat. I made this pan, and I made the seat mount onto the pan. And if you take out these bolts here, there's one back here and one on the other side, take them out, the whole thing will lift off in one. And your battery is under there. There's a battery pad sitting on top of it that keeps the battery from jumping around and shorting out on the bottom of the seat. So keep the battery pad on there, but that's where the battery is. The seat itself is bolted to the pan. If you want to put the springs on the seat to soften your ride a little bit, just unbolt it from the pan. This thing will pivot up, bolt your springs on, and put it back down. Then you're in business. I never liked the springs. I thought it sat too high with the springs, and I like the low look of it. So that's why it's like that, okay? But I'm sending the springs along, just like I said. On the left cover right there, there is, that you take that off and just pull it off. And that is where your fuse box is. And access to wiring is sitting up under that panel right there. So there's only about 4 fuses. The little square fuses, push-in type. So it won't be any problem there. It was stock with the bike, so it worked. So stayed on there. Oh yeah, here's something pretty cool. These pipe caps right here, when the bike idles, they'll sit there and go pop, 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 tink, 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 tink. I always like that sound of it. So, but inside the pipes, you're going to see something they're called lollipops. You can't really see it here, but inside the pipes, and there's a screw right there for it. On each one of them, you'll see one sitting right here and another one sitting right over there. The lollipops help with back pressure, especially when you're running straight exhaust. The bike runs a little bit lean. So you want to put the lollipops on, and if you have the lollipops perpendicular, it's a little bit louder, makes the pipe caps pink along pretty good, tink, tink, tink. But they also help with back pressure on the bike. So if you get a lot of backfiring, which I think is very cool anyway, but if you do and you don't like it, turn the lollipops more like that. It'll quiet the bike down a little bit, and it'll take a lot of that away. So you need to know about lollipops if you don't already. Each side, you're going to see pod filters. That's what this is. Another one over here. Pod filters. The big one is available at Jets, Jets, the letter R, and us.com. That's where I got the jetting to rejet the carburetors, and they had pod filters. So I bought the pod filters there. The small filter, there's 3 of those, are available at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. And they're just bolt-on. So all this stuff is bolt-on, so you won't have any issues with it, okay? As far as the oil, I only run Rotilla. That's diesel oil available at Walmart. 3.9 liters, just under 4 quarts, fills the thing up. Every oil change it with Rotilla. Here's something interesting. Up in front, that's the oil filter. Oil filter is available at Walmart. It's one of their cheap filters that they have. It's only a $3 filter, but it bolts right on, comes up. Been using them for years. They work really well. If you get it's just a crossover. You'll see the numbers on it. And this right here. It's right there. Hear that? That's the fan. I put the fan system on a manual switch. Down here in Florida, you know, bikes get so hot and so forth, so I want to run the fan more often than what it was. Or I like the bike when it runs without the fan. But if I'm in heavy traffic, I'll run the fan. After I'm done riding, I'll turn the fan on for a couple minutes, let the bike cool off, turn it back on. The whole time you're riding, turn it on and off as you want. Really, I really can't tell much difference in it. But anyway, it's there. That's what it's for, okay? One other thing I want to show you. If you see that right there, you see that light right there? That's the neutral light. That's between first and second gears. I had to have, since there's no instrumentation, no speedometer, nothing like that, I had to find a way to come up with that I could find neutral. This did it for me. So it's just hooked right to the regular neutral wiring you have in there. And it only come on between first and second gear. Also, what I did on this bike, you notice up on top, you're going to see some little lights blinking up on the dash up here. And if you go to the right, you'll see them blinking over there. That's to let you know the LED blinker strips are on, okay? So sometimes the bike is loud and you have the blinker on, you can't tell it's on. Well, that switch will remind you that they're on. It's just a little thing I put on there to help me out because I tend to be a little forgetful and stuff like that. Of course, the light up in front, you still have the normal high beam, low beam, normal kill switch you would have on it. One thing the bike does not have is a horn. I'm going to have the horn in the box for you if you want to put it on, but I couldn't find a cool place to use it. It's ugly. I didn't like it, so it didn't get back on the bike. But if you decide to bolt it bolts on under there, and the wiring is up under that box right there, okay? And I think that's about it. So I have not started a bike in a couple weeks. Next video I'm going to send you, it's going to be how to start the bike. So let's hope she starts. Thank you.